Yo. Yo.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I'm Chris Freeman. I'm the bass player with Trinity Seed. That started probably when I was in the 5th grade. Started playing trumpet, school band. Loved it. Got to high school, and I remember a lot of the people I played with back then started dropping out of band for some reason or another. A lot of them didn't like who the band teacher was, but I didn't care. I just wanted to play. So up until high school graduation, it was all trumpet. That's where I learned to read, all that kind of read music. And after that, that's when guitar came in, and eventually bass. I'm definitely confident on bass and guitar and trumpet. I can play keys a little, like I know the notes and chords, but I'm no Liberace or anything like that. So
Okay, cool.
and tiny bit of drums.
Okay.
Yeah, tiny bit of drums. Oh man, I'd say right off the bat, Prince. I mean, when I was a kid, I heard "I Want to Be Your Lover." I was like, "Who was that? What was that? Who was that girl?" And I found out it was a guy, and I was like, "Oh." But then, I got to listen to it more and really got into it. And I'll say Miles Davis, Curtis Mayfield was a very big influence in many ways. Lyrically, his music, his subject matter. Hometown native George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, very big influence. Still is. Pat Metheny, jazz guitarist. I credit him for actually inspiring me to play guitar. I saw his video on BET Jazz they had back in the day, back in the early 90s, late 80s. I saw his video to Last Train Home. I was like, man, that's cool. I got to get a guitar. And soon after I got a guitar, and the rest is history. Now, there are a lot of influences. I mean, from jazz, rock. I'm a big fan of Rush. I appreciate their playing and their technical skills. So anybody that's putting out good stuff, that writes their own stuff, and performs their own stuff, is an influence. Let's see. I knew Mike already, and I'd met Charles. I can't even remember what year it was, but we were going to do some stuff for his wedding reception. So that's really the first time I met Charles, and we learned, I think, a couple songs, 2 or 3 songs, and we did his wedding reception. And at that point, that's when I was still working Still Like Static, so I kind of went back to doing that. And I know me and Mike had worked a little bit together on a couple things. He sat in on a Still Like Static set that we did downtown for a TED convention. And the guitar player and drummer for Still Like Static wanted to keep working together after that band broke up, and I suggested we bring Mike in, add that extra guitar, and so we all started working together. And when that little experiment fell apart, Mike wanted to keep playing, and of course I did, and that's kind of how Trinity Seed got started. Ibeji, yes. Well, yeah, actually, that's the first band I started playing in. Ibeji, God, that was like, probably like 95, something when that band started. Played for a while, and that morphed into, we had a band called Eric Jones for a while, which is kind of rockish R&B soul music. After that, went back to Ibeji for a while, put an album out. That kind of withered away. Then went to Still Like Static. And Still Like Static ended. That's when I started working with Groove 8 and then this band. Well, it was, we did it democratically. We kind of went for a while without a name, and threw out some, some anagrams, not anagrams, but acronyms, trying to figure out what to do, and eventually it came down to write all the names you can think of down on a sheet of paper. We'll pick them out, everybody vote on which ones you like, and Trinity Seed ended up winning. And that name, I think that name kind of popped up a while ago, because I thought it just sounded cool. I don't think it really had any particular meaning, but and I think it was just gonna be the name of a song or something. But I remember that, and I was like, let me throw that in there. And there was some other actually good names in there too, though.
Any other names you remember that didn't quite make the cut, or?
I like the Tomas and Jericho.
Tomas and Jericho.
I thought that was cool. Who knows who Tomas is, but I just thought it sounded good.
I think I used to live next door to Tomas.
Yeah, everybody knows at least one Tomas.
Yeah. I think his name was Thomas.
Thomas, yeah.
Thomas,
He's Tomas when he got famous.
So,
describe Trinity Seed. I would say, I think there's definitely a rock element. Lyric-wise, I guess the lyrics I would say are kind of inspirational, very positive. It's definitely got an edge. It's got a rock edge, but I think it has a kind of definitely a soul undercurrent, and I think the two kind of blend together, and the sound is definitely unique. I think the songs we have so far, they all sound like they're from us. They don't sound like, they sound different, but they don't sound so different that it sounds like it's two different bands playing. And I don't know, I think the sound works. I think really any kind of style that we decide to do, I think it's still probably gonna sound like Trinity Seed. And hopefully, we want to like the stuff, and we hope people listening to it are gonna like it too. And that's the goal: get that message across and get your music out there. Well, I guess the kind of what's now the verse, bridge, chorus part of it. That's something I've been kind of picking around for 3 or 4 years probably, and couldn't really figure out what to do with it. I mean, I kind of had an idea of like some lyrics and stuff to put with it, but it just wasn't quite coming together. And showed it to Mike first, because I knew I'm not like a super guitarist, but I knew if I could show it to someone who is a good guitarist, they could make something really nice out of it. And man, the rest just kind of developed after that. And you know, the whole vocal part in the song, where we have all the voices. You know, I was really, you know, I say Mike and you know, Charles' idea. Let's have some vocals going in there. A whole solo section, the way the song ends. You know, that was definitely a group effort. But you know, the rest of it was just something that was sitting around. You know, and I guess when you write songs or you used to write music, you end up having a lot of bits and pieces of songs. You know, well, I got this couple lines, and kind of like a puzzle, you have to kind of fit them in. You know, all right, I got a set of lyrics here, I got a set of, you know, melodies or whatever, and you try to put them together and see what works. So that one I'm kind of glad we did, because I always thought it was a kind of cool line, but just didn't know what to do with it. So it turned into something nice. Well, I can kind of remember, it kind of started as a jam session, kind of. Luckily, Rob brings his little Tascam recorder, and I don't know if I should give a product endorsement, but his recorder brings it to practice and sits it down, and we started playing something. I think Mike started playing the, and I can remember initially struggling trying to figure out exactly what kind of bass line to put on it, and then we went through some evolutions. It changed quite a bit, and I think from just constantly revisiting that you know, music, you know, it eventually started to take form. It's like, all right, well, this will sound good with that, this will sound good with that. Changes came in, but I would say Mike is definitely the driving force behind that one. You know, the changes and the licks, you know, especially the guitar and bass licks that we play together. I had to do my homework so I can try to learn those. But you know, I think in the end, it sounds really good. The Master. Classic, timeless horn section. Larry Graham. Killer songwriter. Small, tight, 3-piece band. Sounds like a 8-piece. Virtuoso. Just technically off the chain. I mean, almost so good it's almost robotic. Like he said in his own words, greatest bass player to ever live. Thunder Thumb. Straight funk soul. First place I would go is www.trinityseed.com. You go there, it's all kind of good stuff. You can listen to the music, you can look at some photos, some bio information, see what our upcoming dates are, and on our homepage there are links to the Facebook page, we got a Twitter page, have a YouTube page that we're in the process of setting up. So www.trinityseed.com. so much better.